So this is assembly for the Wooden Winds flute stand. You're gonna receive this looking something like this, probably in a shipping tube. I'm still refining how I ship these, but it's probably gonna come like this, and it'll take a minute to make heads or tails of what you're looking at. So the skinniest piece is gonna go in the middle, and then these larger pieces go on the outside, and we'll figure out where each one goes. So this is already in the right order. You can tell by the spacing of the holes here. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Those all line up, and I'll flip this just to demonstrate. You can see there's still 3. Obviously they're way off, but these match, and then you can see these match here. So now we know their orientation in this way. The feet, the green felt feet, are going to be a big clue. So the feet are obviously going to go down. And then finally, you're going to see there's this little corner. That should be to the interior. So what that means, actually, an even more obvious thing, there's holes on both sides. And this really large hole, that's going to be not on the show side. Sorry, my hands are still a little dusty from woodworking, but I'll show you what I mean. So this is going to be the very back side. This is not going to be seen by you when you put your flute on the stand. So I'll take this, I'll turn it. I'm laying it down, so that's the back. I'm going to flip this so these holes match again. I'll show you. So it's the narrow pattern here. And then same deal. Flip it so the feet are down. Okay. The final step would be just to make sure if this orientation is correct. And the way you do that is you just check that the taper roughly lines up. It's going to change just a bit once we add these little pieces in between. So I'll show you that. But you can see that this is quite close to lining up, and it's going to be on both sides. It's such a wide piece, it's hard to show you both sides at all times, but we're just going to work from there. So you also get hardware. You get 2 Phillips head screws and 4 of these steel pins. So we're going to start with 2 of them through the center. I'm going to do the same on the other side. Evenly spaced, so it's not more one way or the other. These will move around just a little bit, but you'll see. So our hole spacing is intended for this matched hole spacing that you can see here. Meaning, I'm going to put this on, and the way that you tell that it's for this side and not this side, the fabric has an obvious, it's gripping more on this side than it is on this side. This is the show side, or the outside, where your flute's actually going to be making contact, is going to have a more generous helping of this this fabric material here. And then this piece is just the opposite. And you can see that lines up really well, because this was all made assembled. Everything was sanded while it's assembled, so all those lines match up really nicely. And before I plug that in, I'm going to do the other side. So again, the larger fabric face is meant to touch the flute, So we go like this. And then next, click that on both ends. Okay, so that's all assembled. Now it can still come apart, which is why we have these Phillips head screws. They just drop right in, and I'm going to grab a screwdriver. There's a star waiting in the sky. We know he'd like to meet us, but it didn't blow our mind. There's a star in that. All right, so that screw is still in there. And you won't need to put too much force on this. I've already, as I said when I made this, I fully assembled it, sanded it in place. So I've already threaded this in there as far as it needs to go. You don't need to really crank down on that. There's not much damage that you'll be able to do, but there's a chance you'll strip it. Okay, sorry again for the dust here. It's just the nature of the basement, but I wanted to make sure this was demonstrated pretty well for once. I used to write little notes on which faces had to go, but I feel like that was more complicated. I think once you see the logic to it, it's quite clear. So yeah, that's it fully assembled. There's no letting go. You see these cracks are all cinched right up, so there's no light gaps in between except here, which is obviously intentional. And yeah, that's it. Enjoy.